WFYI podcasts are made possible by Bloomington, Indiana, an American college town offering experiences like indulging in grub at Nick's English Hut, taking a stroll along Kirkwood Avenue, feeling the history and magic of Assembly Hall, and providing the chance to feel like a college kid again. Plan your trip at visitbloomington.com.
I'm Kyle Long, host of Cultural Manifesto, just one of the local music programs you can enjoy on WFYI. These programs would not be possible without your financial support. And to say thank you, we want to send you to see Lyle Lovett when he comes to Indianapolis on July 28th. Choose a concert ticket as your gift when you donate at WFYI.org/give. And thanks for supporting WFYI.
This is WFYI News Now. It's June 26th, and I'm Aubriana Herron. On today's show, a group finds out which neighborhoods in Indianapolis are most in need of more trees. A blood bank in the state is critically low. Who's running for school board in the November election? And no one told the Indiana Department of Education that an IPS teacher filmed and encouraged the alleged abuse of a second grader with disabilities.
Why aren't these agencies that are supposed to be protecting our children communicating with each other?
Those stories coming up. But first, more funding for a bridge project on a historical site in Indianapolis has been identified. WFYI's Jill Sheridan reports the money will support enhancements for Henry Street Bridge.
The bridge project was first announced as part of a city and state agreement with Elanco to move its headquarters to a downtown site along the White River. The city announced this week that Lilly Endowment has gifted $15 million to help realize bridge plans that include a new Circle City Gateway. The gateway will feature large lighted rings encircling the bridge, landscaping, public art, and an expansion of the cultural trail. The city sought help with added funding after announcing the project last year. Since then, a section of the bridge site has become the center of controversy. It's where the city's first public graveyard was located, and an unknown number of bodies were never removed. The city says this new funding will help coordinate architectural plans without sacrificing archaeological efforts that happen on the site. I'm Jill Sheridan.
With the number of high heat days increasing due to climate change, some advocacy groups say tree cover is important to keep neighborhoods cool. As WFYI's Ben Thorpe reports, one national group has done a tree equity analysis of Indianapolis, identifying the neighborhoods most in need of more trees.
The analysis was done by the Washington, D.C.-based advocacy group American Forests and uses data including income, age, tree cover, and surface temperature. The goal is to calculate a so-called tree equity score for different sections of the city. Joshua Simon with American Forests says the tool will help Indianapolis identify areas where trees can be used to help reduce heat risk.
Trees are one of these cool features that allows us to cool our cities by also making it beautiful and enjoying ways beyond the ecological benefits of it.
Parts of Indianapolis, such as Broad Ripple and Meridian Hills, had good tree equity scores, while other neighborhoods, such as Riverside and Old South Side, had lower scores. The city celebrated a local initiative last year, planting some 30,000 trees. Indianapolis would need to plant roughly 3 million trees to reach the ideal equity score, according to the American Forests analysis. I'm Ben Thorpe.
The Versiti Blood Center of Indiana's blood bank is critically low. The nonprofit blood center is seeking 1,000 donors. They're asking for people of all blood types to donate, with an emphasis on people who are O positive and O negative. The center says walk-ins are welcome, or appointments can be scheduled online at donate.indiana.versiti.org. 4 seats on the Indianapolis Public Schools Board are on the ballot in the November election. From WFYI's Education Desk, Eric Weddle reports some current board members won't seek re-election.
The election has the potential to remake the 7-member IPS board. 3 incumbent board members are not running for re-election: Will Pritchard of District 1, Venetia Moore of District 2, and Diane Arnold of District 4. Arnold has been on the board for nearly 20 years. At-large member Kenneth Allen is seeking re-election. He faces 2 challengers, Dee Thompson, an early childhood educator, and Carrie Harris, an educational advocate. In District 4, which includes the areas south and west of downtown, only one person filed to run for the seat. Multiple candidates filed to run for seats representing District 1 and District 2. The election is November 5th. I'm Eric Weddle.
To see who is running for school board in Marion County, go to WFYI.org. And for our final story today, no one told the Indiana Department of Education that an Indianapolis teacher filmed and encouraged the alleged abuse of a second grader with disabilities. The state officials who govern teachers' licenses found out from the media. From WFYI's education desk, Lee Gaines has this investigative report.
The Department of Child Services substantiated a claim of neglect against former Indianapolis Public Schools teacher Julius Jonikin. Jonikin was reported because he recorded a video where he can be heard encouraging a student to beat up another child. DCS policy says they're supposed to notify the Indiana Department of Education of substantiated reports of abuse and neglect that involve teachers, but they didn't do that in this case. Kelly Macesso is an IPS parent.
Why aren't these agencies that are supposed to be protecting our children communicating with each other? If that's not being done right, then it leaves our children vulnerable.
A spokesperson for DCS says the agency takes immediate corrective action when they learn about delays in reporting. I'm Lee Gaines.
You can read the full investigation at WFYI.org/news. That's all for today's episode of WFYI News Now. Our podcast is produced by Drew Dodlin with support from the news team at WFYI and public media journalists across the state. Our news director is Sarah Neal Estes. Kendall Antron produced our music, and I'm your host, Abriana Herron. If you like today's episode, remember to subscribe and share, and follow WFYI on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube to check in on our newsroom throughout the day. Thank you for listening. We'll be back tomorrow.
WFYI podcasts are made possible by Bloomington, Indiana, an American college town offering experiences like indulging in grub at Nick's English Hut, taking a stroll along Kirkwood Avenue, feeling the history and magic of Assembly Hall, and providing the chance to feel like a college kid again. Plan your trip at visitbloomington.com.